Dun, 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 dun. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum.
What's up, party people of the AACL, the All-American Collegiate League? What's going on? What's happening? What is cracking? I see a bunch of people jumping into the chat. I will be with you momentarily. But in the meantime, does anybody notice anything different about the graphic on your screen? I'll give you a minute to figure it out. But in the meantime, we got a whole big old fucking packed show for you. We're going to talk about some stuff here in the beginning. We got a special fucking story time. We're going to talk about week 11, but we're also going to do players of the week for weeks 10 and 11. Briefly touch on the week 12 schedule. Excuse me, and then go over a bunch of calendar stuff. So we got a big, full show in store for you tonight. So before I get to the chat, let me get to the booth and introduce my sidekicks for this evening for the 12th episode of AACL Tonight here in the All-American Collegiate League. First and foremost, actually, I don't know first and foremost. Let's just say first is Ray Bashan's in the house. Ray Bashan, what's up, bro?
Yeah, I'm always first. I know the difference.
That's
on the
what
screen,
Clams.
by the way.
That's what Clams said, by the way. Hey,
I-
come on, Clams, you got to give me that, baby. Damn. Clams is Why is Clams fucking with me, Ray?
I think she did the cricket because I started talking.
Daddy. Oh, Daddy.
Oh, that one was for
Yeah.
me then. Okay, so what do you notice differently?
I noticed what's different on the screen. I don't know what that random fucking guy is in the corner there, but he's not here. He doesn't go here.
We call him Creeper.
He doesn't even go to this school.
Jeepers, Creepers. Where'd you get that weird-ass fucking look on your face? Hey, you. Ray Bashan's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Also, the athletic director for the Virginia Tech Hokies, Yogi Barr, is here as usual. Yogi, what's up with you, bro?
Not much, but if he's first, I'm foremost.
Hey-o, there you go. So, last and foremost,
That's what she said.
and last and foremost, so the reason why you see your screen is a little different tonight is because you see gunny chevrons. Because Keith, even though he looks like he's lurking in the corner, is actually not lurking in the corner. He's at dinner with his parents. So Gunny, the man, the myth, the legend himself, is going to bless us with his pearls of wisdom this evening. Woo! And Gunny's going to join us in the booth. Gunny, how are you? Last and foremost, Gunny, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm excited about the KMPR, and to everybody in the audience, if you can make up what KMPR stands for, please put it in the chat.
Oh, you know what, Gunny? That's interesting. What do you think it stands for?
I don't think Keith's in school and busy with work, so I think his mom's been doing the power rankings. So it's Keith's mom's power rankings.
Oh, that's fucking.
That's as close as I have to a censor.
That is fucking beautiful. What's that, Ray?
That was about as close as I have to the censor.
I was like, please don't say the P or the R word.
Your discretion is advised.
Keith's mom's beep beep.
Dump truck?
Oh, anyway, also, I guess Michaela is joining us this evening. Michaela, how the fuck are you?
I'm okay. I just got a tattoo done and got off work early, so I'm
Really?
chilling.
What tattoo did you? Wait. Did you get the left side of my face or the right side of my face?
I got none of your face because I don't need your face on my body.
Wait, Dave, can you ask Michaela how she's doing again?
Hey, Michaela, how the fuck are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm just a little bored, though.
I don't know. I just got Dave's tattoo on my body, though. I don't know.
God.
I'm just like, whatever.
We got to see pictures of that.
Yeah. What tattoo did you get, Michaela?
It's because I'm a nerd and I like reading. It's a single line drawing of a book with a dragon. Because I'm weird.
Anybody got that hang up Discord fucking sound?
Hey, you asked.
All right. Thank you, Dork. I mean, Michaela.
After that,
I was actually thinking about getting a tattoo of my own face on one of my ass cheeks. I think that would
No. You need to get a pair of lips. You need to get a pair of
Jesus.
lips on your ass cheek.
I need to
What
get
was the
wait,
tattoo again,
wait,
Michaela?
I need to get what, Yogi?
A pair of lips so you could just point to it.
And tell everybody to kiss my motherfucking ass.
You don't even have to tell them. Just point to it. That'd be perfect for you.
Michaela got a tattoo of me and something. I don't remember the rest of it.
What was the tattoo?
Just
A
look
book
into
and a
that.
dragon.
Oh, she
I
put
want to
it.
hear her. Can we let her talk?
Hey,
I thought
It's
she was
in
being-
Boo's
Ray,
lap.
Ray, listen. I'm going to tell you everything that Michaela said. Michaela, you have the floor for 15 seconds.
Oh. Yeah, it's just a tattoo.
That's because I heard that's as long as Keith can last.
It's a.
Wow.
All right, that's way better than what the fuck I was gonna do. If Michaela said it again, I was gonna play this.
Oh God! Listen, I'm in the zone right now.
He's got the big
So, so just for the record, for those of you who don't realize or remember, we have the show tonight, but we don't have anything else going on the rest of the week. Frank Doom, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna get to the chat here in just a second, if we can ever actually get through the fucking intro. My buddy John is downstairs, and we went out to dinner. We went to a bar afterwards, so I've had quite a few beers and quite a few whiskeys. So, what happens on the AACL tonight, I guess, goes on the fucking internet. I don't know. Clamsy Whamsy on the ones and twos doing the soundboard for us tonight. Clamsy, how are you, sweetie?
I'm alright. We vibing.
We vibing. What's up?
vibing.
Atta girl. What's up?
Play the disclaimer. Play the disclaimer.
Oh, yeah, we do need the disclaimer. We should have played that like 10 minutes ago.
discretion is advised.
There you go. Viewer discretion is always fucking advised on this show. All right, let me hit the chat real quick, and then we'll actually get into doing some fucking show shit.
Is this a family show tonight?
Hey,
No.
Gunny, you always know it's a fucking family show, bro. All right, here we go. First one in the house is my BFF Stream Elements, along with Private Clams, Boonberry, Dave Axis himself in the chat. Gosh, I love when that guy's here. Andy Beaverhausen, Michaela Foraker, James Wolfe, David Leathers, the man with the best first name in the history of all creation, Fillmore Slyn, Tank is in the house. Tank, what's up, buddy? Mrs. Canuck is here. Yogi's with us. Grant Hardaway. Did I say Crazy Canuck already? I feel like I did. Doug Britton, Frank Doom, Justin Reside saying, I had to come here so Dave doesn't fire. I had to come here so Dave don't fire me. Private Clams is in his house, and I think that's about it so far. Actually, let me see who's lurking. You know there's always lurkers. Like the little guy in the corner here in the graphic. Let's see. Who's lurking? Twin Screw, as always. Twin Screw, what's up, buddy? I think I said Doug Britton. Freddie, why you lurking, bro? James Walters, what's up, bro? And I think that's about it. So about 20 of you. Not too shabby. Before we get into a couple other things, I need to say something. We have a special edition of Story Time tonight. As you know, we've done 2 jury stories, and I did my story about that wine. What was the name of that store that I went to where they fucking...
Total Wine.
Total wine.
Total fucking ridiculous bogus wine, yeah. And we have a little twist on tonight's story, which I will tell you momentarily. But before that, I do have a tiny. So listen. If you have something that's tiny and minor, it is now called miney. In case for those of you who are behind the curve.
He's got the big pee-pee.
So I have a little miney story to tell you about something that just happened. So my buddy John, if you guys know, he's actually downstairs listening on my big TV downstairs. This is my buddy from Texas whose wife just passed away.
Fuck
Who?
you, John. Sorry.
Whoa, easy,
Sorry,
buddy.
John.
Who owns?
Sorry, John.
He's the guy who owns the Corvette that I went on the road trip with and all that stuff, right?
Oh, never mind. I love you, John.
Yeah,
Nice Corvette.
He's the Marine vet, but he spells vet. Remember VETTE? I just don't think he's logged on right now because his phone was dead when we got home. He's watching on my TV, but he's not chatting. Anyway, we were at dinner at this place, and I actually stopped by there yesterday morning. I took Lisa to the airport because she's in Chicago on work. Well, and I stopped by this little new place, this little kind of a bar restaurant place, and it's called Sonny's. And I went to go in, and it's closed on Mondays. I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'll take John there tomorrow night instead. So John and I go in there, and the food is good, and we got this 18-year-old girl who doesn't really know her ass from a hole in the ground, but she's trying, and she's doing a good job. And she's our server. And she asked us if it was our first time here. And I said, well, I've been here once before because I had been there with Lisa. And I said, it's my buddy's first time. I said, I actually tried to come here last night, but you guys were closed on Monday. She goes, yeah, we don't really get a big crowd on Monday. I go, I'm surprised by that because, Monday Night Football. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, NFL, Monday Night Football. And she goes, when is that?
Was this Hooters?
No, my buddy John goes, it's on Wednesdays. Are you kidding me? That is just stupid. Dude, I'm like, am I really having this fucking conversation right now? I could not fucking believe. Monday Night Football. Really? When is that? It's on Thursdays, obviously, you dumb fucking. All right. Anyway, so there's my tiny, tiny little thing, but we have a new twist on story time tonight. Instead of
actually a fucking graphic.
instead of instead of story time with Dave, we have story time with Ray tonight because Ray has been dealing with some shit the last couple months that I am just dying for him to tell the rest of you. So with no further ado, and hopefully a nice little drum roll from Clamsy Wamsy, please, I would like Ray to take over the story time for this evening before we jump into some AACL action. So, Clamsy, whenever you're ready, we can hit the drum roll.
Hang on one second. This is fucking news to me. So I swear to God.
It's supposed to be news to you.
It's not news to you.
Oh,
you know.
Don't spoil it, Clams.
I probably do.
Clams, don't spoil it.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay. You know what's gonna happen is you're gonna give me a drum roll. And story time with Ray is now in full effect.
All right, so there I was with Keith's mom. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my
Oh wait,
God.
again? Wait, double dating with Dave and his mom.
Oh God.
No, that's my
yeah.
safe space.
Oof. Yeah, double dating with Dave and my mom, which is obviously weird already.
Hey, just for the record, we kicked their ass in miniature golf. Go ahead.
All right. What?
Clams is still fucked up about this. I can tell.
All
This
right.
could go so many ways for Clamps.
So, as most of you know, I had to cancel a Raycap show that is now fully canceled just for a week because we had to sit there and move from an apartment to a townhome. Come to find out, we're going to talk about maybe like a month into the townhome. I'm coming home from work after like 5 o'clock. At like 5 o'clock or after 5 o'clock, I just drive straight through the little strip that we have, and I park in the closest spot that is right there. It just so happens that spot is the only spot that's next to a handicap spot, and I guess it's also closer to two other apartments that are to our left if you're looking at the building. So I wake up one morning to get to work, and I notice there's like a nice little white sheet of paper that's just underneath my wiper. And the white sheet of paper says I have to go back into where I said this because I don't clearly remember. Yeah. It said, actually, the first note was, why do you park here? There's spots closer to your door.
Hey, just to clarify, these are sticky notes.
Yeah, there's sticky notes.
Literally stuck to your fucking car.
Yeah, the windshield all around my car. I found one on, I believe there was one on my tire that probably fell off and hit my tire. But either way, the first note said, why do you park here? There's spots closer to your door. I'm just like, what? And I've kind of just like took it because I was already running late for work. I threw it in my passenger seat and said, fuck it. I went to work, came back, parked the car in the same fucking spot, said whatever. Somebody's just probably thinking like, hey, I'm not in the apartment that's across from my car. So they're thinking I'm parking like here and then I'm walking like fucking 500 blocks the other direction. We'll go maybe like a week and a half later, going outside, going to work, see another fucking sticky note on my car. It says, please move your car. It is not even close to your door. So at this point, I've gotten 2 damn sticky notes and not one sticky note.
And they obviously don't know where the fuck you live.
Exactly. One sticky note. I haven't gotten one sticky note that says, "Could you please park somewhere else as this is closest to my apartment?" If I gotten that sticky note the first time, I would have easily just parked somewhere else. It's no big deal. You be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. But since you have decided to put 2 dickhead sticky notes on my car, I'm gonna be fucking petty. Guess where I've been parking for the past 2 fucking months?
But it gets better because we have more notes.
Go ahead, Clams.
I just want to throw this out there. Ray was napping one day, and his daughter Thena was like, "Hey, there's a purple thing on Daddy's car." And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I look, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, because I had just parked, or I had just we were cleaning and doing stuff, like it wasn't there before, and then she was literally like, "There's a purple thing on Daddy's car, right?" And so I went and looked, and it said, "You suck," with a smiley face, and I was like, "Okay, I'm fucking over this. I'm tired of Ray bitching. I'm tired of this fucking twat bitching." So I went and wrote a note saying, "Hey, honey, get the fuck over yourself." I said, "He literally parks right in front of our window. You are literally not walking 5 blocks away. You will survive by walking
Hey,
an extra 10
where did you
steps."
put that note? Where'd you put it?
I put it on her fucking car.
Oh, so you know who it is.
I know it's the white fucking car.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
I didn't even know that.
It's the white car out here. That's fucking simple math.
That is simple math. So then
anyways,
go ahead.
So anyways, so I wrote it, and then I wrote, "Sincerely, GF of man who sucks." And and Ray hasn't gotten a no until literally the last couple of days.
And
just saying.
so then what? So that time went by, Ray. Then what happened the last couple of days?
Okay, so I got a note yesterday after not receiving a note for a while. I was like, okay, maybe it got handled or anything. Maybe she fucking finally understood, like, hey, I should back off. It's just a parking spot, right? By the way, I would like to point out with our townhome complex, they have told us when we moved in that there is no reserved parking spots. You can't place anything inside the parking spot to reserve a spot for your car. The only thing that's reserved is handicap parking, and that's for the handicap people, obviously. It's first come, first serve.
Boom.
Pretty fucking much.
Boom.
That's plain and simple. If there was reserved parking, they would have the numbers on the fucking spots, but they don't, because who the fuck cares?
So let me just kind of recap this so far before you tell the rest there. So you moved there a couple months ago, or whatever, and then you were parking there, and these people put notes on your car, and then Clams put a note on their car, and then it seemed to fucking kind of dwindle down a little bit, kind of settle down, and then all of a sudden, a couple days later, or a couple days ago, what happened?
I got another note. It was right there in the middle of my windshield, so I know it's not like an old person because they can't reach out that fucking far. The note said, and it was kind of hard to read because they used like a highlighter or something. It sat here and said, "Do you park here to be petty? Grow up with a heart."
Grow up with. So that's the second time they've insulted you, but put a heart.
Exactly.
Is that the sticky
funny.
note version of no offense, but?
It was funny though because the first part was, "Do you park here to be petty?" And before I read the rest of it, I said, "Yeah."
I am now, bitch.
And then I read "grow up," and I was just like, "You're the one leaving sticky notes on a fucking car."
Being petty. And then
so I grabbed that note, threw it in my passenger seat with all the other fucking notes that I have, besides the one Clams found. And I went to work, came back home, parked in the same fucking spot because I'm not gonna stop. It's funnier than hell to me. I even texted that sticky note to the site manager for this place. And the site manager said that they would get it handled. They were going to send out a notice to everybody, which we got the notices today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so surprisingly.
But didn't you get another note this morning before that notice went out?
Oh, yeah, I was getting there.
Okay.
So wake up this morning. It's a little bit rainy. It was a little bit rainy last night, so my car is wet. Nothing on the front side, nothing on my hood, nothing on the wipers or anything. I was like, oh, good, okay. Guess she's fucking gonna stop. Walk around to the driver's side though. Nice good old pink sticky note on my window, and then another pink sticky note on my passenger driver's side. Once the sticky note on the window says move with a line underneath
Just
it.
fucking move.
And the sticky note on the passenger side says move please with an exclamation point.
I was swear to God, when you said that to me this morning, bro, I was hoping the third fucking sticky said, move, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, move out the way.
Benji, I can park. It's in the fucking middle of the yellow line. She's just mad because it's the only spot that's closest to her apartment. Because whenever they built these parking spots, they were fucking dumb and didn't put any in the fucking corner over there.
Hey, did you see Benji's other comment right here?
Pretty sure it's Private Clams messing with Ray.
That would be the fucking best ever.
Hang on 1 second. If it really was me, listen, okay?
Hey, you got an echo going on, girly.
Probably because I'm talking and Ray's mic's picking me up.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. If it was actually me messing with him, I don't really like torturing myself because I'm really tired of him bitching about this. All right? I'm over this whole fucking
Clams,
situation.
you got to be honest that Ray's got a point here. That other person's being a cunt, right? Come on.
No, like she is though. Like that's why I put the note saying he literally parks in front of our window. Like it's not gonna kill her to walk an extra 10 steps. Like it doesn't. It's not even that far. Like it's literally the most junior high shit I've ever heard of in my life.
Fucking, it is, but it's fucking great for story time.
Discord video on stream, I could literally turn on my webcam and show you where my car is.
I don't know how to do all that shit, but here's the thing.
It's literally right in front of my fucking big ass window.
So
take over the stream.
So you thought it was good for a while, then you got a couple more notes this morning, then you text your fucking manager again, and then finally this afternoon they put out a whole, what is it?
They put a notice on everybody's fucking door. That basically sat there and said what was told to me. Parking is first come, first serve. There's no reservations of parking spots.
Okay, this is what we need to do. If you get a fucking note tomorrow, you have to post it in the fucking pub.
I'm going to. If I ever get a note anywhere or if there's any damage to my car, I will be posting it in the pub. If there's damage to my car, I call the fucking police.
If that bitch was a fucking true baller, she would take the note that the fucking apartment complex manager put on her door and write you a fucking note and tape it to your fucking car. Oh my god, that would be the best. She'd be a baller then. Then I might have to change my fucking alliances here, bro. I'm just saying.
I'm literally so petty about this. I've been trying to find like a little visor that you can put inside the car so your car don't heat up from the sun, and just have it fucking say first come first serve just to piss her off.
Oh, well, Ray, keep us updated on this shit, bro. Because this shit, I was fucking dying this morning as you were telling me this fucking story, bro. And I think it's fucking great. I appreciate you being story time this week since I didn't really have anything anyway. And you got to keep us updated on that shit for sure.
Oh, I will. I'm thinking about getting my own set of sticky notes and now putting it on her car since I know which one it is.
Yeah,
now.
Just one word at a time. See, I fucking told you, bitch. All around her car, on her windows. I mean,
just fucking sticky note her entire car.
Oh god. Oh, hey, like, what is it? Is it what's the movie with fucking
Office? The Office.
No, that one too. But the one where Ace Ventura dude is God. What's it called? Fucking.
Oh, Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty, where he's in the fucking thing and he says post-its and he just everything just gets
everything, including his sleeping girlfriend.
Oh, that would be... Dude, I've seen pictures on social media of cars completely fucking with sticky notes all over them. That would be the most boss move ever if you did that shit. As a matter of fact, I would even start a GoFundMe. I would start a GoFundMe to pay for all the Post-its.
I can go to a Dollar Tree and get sticky notes for like $1 each.
How great would it be to go on GoFundMe and be like, yeah, I got a sticky note this bitch's car and I need money. That would be bomb. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Just enough for the sticky notes. The rest will go to a charity.
Boom. There you go.
Boom.
All right.
No, you can't do that. I'll get arrested if I do that.
If you do what?
Clams is like, yeah, my pocket. Like, my pocket is a charity, but that'll get me arrested.
I mean, fuck, my bar bill's a fucking charity sometimes. I'm just saying. All right, what do we got? Let's see what people have to say about your story here real quick before we move on to actual AACL shit. First of all, Clam started off with "Oh my God" in there. Annie Beaverhausen, the Beeve says, "Nah, fuck that free parking." We have a 20-year-old fucking Karen 2 places down, said Clams. Crazy Canuck said you need a camera now. You should have a fucking camera, bro. Looking at that shit.
That's my plan. I'm gonna see if I can like have my webcam going on all night and record on my PC.
Yep. Clams again saying it's junior high shit. Mrs. Canuck saying it's petty. Benji, we already read a couple of his. What else? Time for an invite to dinner. That would actually be funny. Dinner at our place, 6 p.m. I'd be afraid to go to that shit, actually.
By the way, we've noticed her in chat. We haven't done the soundboard, so.
Oh. 100%. All right. And let's see. Crazy Canuck, we had someone park on our driveway today to eat inside a restaurant across the back lane. Then there's a 100-car parking lot. What the fuck, Crazy Canuck? Is that for real? That's ridiculous. That's dumb. All right. I think that's everybody here. All right. Let's get in on now. All right. That's perfect. That was perfect timing, Ray. Thanks for sharing that. That first half hour is perfect for story time. All right. AACL Season 3 weekly rankings. We're going to start things off like we always do with the KMPR. And like we noticed that Keith has not been here, but Gunny's here. I have some notes from Keith, but Gunny, before I get to Keith's notes, is there anything else you'd like to say about the KMPR tonight?
Keith's mom will provide Ray and Clams with more notes.
KMPR, Keith's mom will provide Ray.
Keith's mom provides Ray. Love it.
Boom. There you go. Let me see here. KMPR. All right, here we go. First thing first, let's look at where the KMPR is this week. And I'll get a drum roll from Clams, and then we will show you. And
he's dragging it.
Or I'll just fucking do that instead. How about that? What's up, bitches? I can do it. All right.
It wasn't Clams.
Well, because Clams loves me, bro. You know how she doesn't give me crickets like she does you. All right, KMPR. I bet that's Michaela doing that fucking shit right now.
It was both Michaela and Clams.
I don't believe it was Clams for a second. She's way too nice.
That's Clams.
She is way too nice to do that. I don't believe
That's
it.
Clams right now.
Daddy.
Fuck all you Clams haters. Clams, I'm sorry that everybody's hating on you right now, sweetie. All right, KMPR.
Hey, fuck you. I love you.
Hey, I love you. I fuck you. All right, here we go. UNLV, Alabama. Alabama just they're like, fuck it, we're gonna be 1-2 in the KMPR. Kansas jumps 1, Penn State jumps 1, LSU jumps 2. Here's something interesting about this. They were number 1 2 weeks ago. They dropped 2 last week to 3, then they dropped 2 more to 5 after their back-to-back losses. That's kind of brutal. Nebraska and Tennessee switched spots. Florida stays put. Auburn, of all fucking teams, Auburn back in the KMPR. Why am I getting feedback? Who's fucking doing something?
What you doing there, Gunny?
Is it Gunny? Gunny, you got to mute yourself or something, bro. Auburn jumping into the KMPR. Virginia Tech dropping from 9 to 10, and then I believe Iowa was number 10 last week, if I'm not mistaken, and Iowa drops out. Before I go around the horn like I normally do to get everybody's feedback here, let me see what Keith has to say about the KMPR. He says, head-to-head results are really starting to play a factor in tiebreakers and just how the rankings look in general. There are 4 tiebreakers this week for the top 10, and all of them were decided by head-to-head. Even just going down the list for many teams, you could say this team beat this team, who beat this team, etc., which makes sense, right? I'm not sure why we're getting Jeopardy, which makes sense because...
because that took so fucking long, everybody got bored.
It was like 3 sentences, bro. This is the problem with fucking ADHD these days. I said ADHD for those of you who weren't paying attention. What I see here... Oh, I see, Clams. Oh, I got that one. I got the head-to-head. Which makes sense, right? We're 2/3 of the way of the season. A lot of teams have played each other already. I'll go around the horn real quick, and get everybody's first impressions here of your Week 11 KMPR, starting with Ray.
Oh, God, they're down, but they never just go away, do they? Why does Auburn keep jumping back up?
Shut up, bitch!
As soon as we think we've gotten rid of them, they just jump right
Just
back
when I
up
think
and
I'm
says,
out.
"Not today, motherfuckers."
That's how, dude, I think of, when I see Auburn, I think of Al Pacino, right, in Godfather 3. Auburn's like, just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
There you go.
There you go. Yogi, your first impressions there on the KMPR.
The no love for Iowa is unbelievable. I mean, they're in that 6-5 bunch, and they're nowhere to be found on the top 10. I wouldn't have had Virginia Tech at 10. I thought we had a chance to solidify ourselves in the top 10, and we lost to Florida.
You know, that is interesting, Yogi. You say so. Iowa, who fought with a better record. I mean, this has been going on all season, right? That other teams had better records, and they were in there. Iowa finally fights their way in, and they're in there for 1 week with a loss, and they fall back out, and two other teams with worse records jump over them. What the fuck is up with that?
Keith's mom, the only one that knows.
Listen, just be happy Miami's not up there above you.
I mean, well, or Notre Dame, heyo.
Head to head.
I think, Gunny, I'll give you last word on this one. Give me your first impressions, and then tell me what you think about the whole Iowa situation.
I agree with what Yogi said. I mean, 6-5 record, they're out, and 2 4-7 teams, Auburn and Virginia Tech are in. But Iowa has time to redeem itself. They face number 7 Tennessee, number 2 Alabama. Then they play Ohio State, and they follow up at number 3 Kansas. So they play number 2, 3, and 7 within the next final 4 weeks. So they can bounce back into the top 10, top 8 if they go at least maybe 3-1 in the last 4 games.
Yeah, there's got to be something said for Iowa being number 10 and dropping out. Virginia Tech was 9. Both teams lost, so maybe they each moved down a spot. The interesting part is, why does Auburn jump over both of them with a 4-7 record just because they won that week? That's interesting. Keith's not here, but here are his notes on Auburn. It literally says in all caps, Auburn is back, bitches. They benefited from the 3 teams above them losing and their big win being an upset. Does anybody remember off the top of their head who Auburn beat?
LSU.
LSU. Oh, that is a big win.
Yeah.
And Virginia Tech and Iowa. I know Iowa lost to Nebraska.
And you got feedback again.
Yeah, it's Gunny. Gunny, it's you. When you're not talking, you should probably mute. I don't know what the feedback is. I know that Iowa lost to Nebraska. Virginia Tech. Yogi, who'd you guys lose to?
Florida.
We lost to Florida by 3.
And then Iowa lost to who?
You just said
Iowa lost. I'm sorry. Iowa lost to Nebraska. Hey. Don't tell me what I said.
You're on the team.
Iowa lost to Nebraska.
You think Dave pays attention to his enemies that are out there? He's just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm running.
I don't even pay attention to people, bro. I don't know. I to be honest with you, I think I have a problem with it. I think I have a problem with Auburn and Virginia Tech both being above Iowa, but that's the way of the KMPR. And who are we to say other than Keith and his mom about how that goes down? So if you look in the middle section of this graphic, Penn State UNLV at the top of everyone right now. They're at the top of the Christmas tree. Penn State UNLV at 9-2. Alabama right behind them at 8-3. Kansas dropping again. I'm sorry, LSU dropping again, and Kansas bumping up. Both of those are teams at 7-4. And then starts the 6-5 and 4-7 logjam with Florida, Iowa, Nebraska, Tennessee, Auburn, Missouri, Ohio State, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech. Notre Dame eliminated from playoff contention last week with an 8th loss. And Miami, the first team to lose double digits. I'm going to go around the horn one more time, Ray. Very specific question. Did you think 2/3 of the way through this season that you'd have a team with double-digit losses already?
Honestly, there's always that one sour grape of the bunch, so I always expected 1, possibly 2 that would have double-digit losses right now, actually.
I feel like, Yogi, with the parity of this league, I'm actually a little surprised by a double-digit loss team already. But on top of that, what do you make of Notre Dame now, who was a strong contender in the preseason tournament, had high hopes this season, and already the second team now out of playoff contention?
Well, they're led by Wrong Way Ray. That's that problem right there. Dot my ass. But they're 3-8, but they're licking their chops for this week's game because as much as Virginia Tech likes to come up and play the tough competition tough, we love to go down and play the bad competition.
Wait, did you just say Virginia Tech loves to go down?
You love to go down there, Yogi, huh?
I know that's getting clipped.
There you go. We like to play the bad competition down to their level, so they're licking their chops. As far as a double-digit team with the parameters we're all running, you wouldn't think so. You would think, like you said, the parity would keep us a little tighter.
Yeah, I feel the same. Yeah, Go ahead.
The one thing that really stands out to me is there's no 5 and 6 teams. That's just odd.
Oh, that is odd.
We go from 6 and 5 to 4 and 7.
That is very interesting. Yeah. Gunny, do you think? Go ahead.
Hang on,
Michaela.
Oh, let me double check something.
Okay, let me go to Gunny then, and then you can come chime in afterwards. Gunny, do you agree or disagree with the parity argument that only 2/3 of the season that we shouldn't have a double-digit loss team, or are you more on the side of Ray where you say with this many teams this far in the season there had to be at least one or two?
I was thinking the even the worst team would maybe be the 3-8 team, not 1-10. I would think Miami with the caliber of players they have and Art Vandelay as the AD, I would have thought they would have been better than a 1-win team.
I forgot to mention one other thing. Another note from Keith about the KNPR. I missed this one. If Korn wants to complain more about Iowa not being the KNPR, then he shouldn't have gotten beat so bad this week in the first quarter and a half. Then the rest of the game was basically Iowa getting a stat pad. We were all arguing for Iowa, and Keith was like, maybe they shouldn't have fucked up so bad. So there you go. Exactly. Keith just fucking roasted all of us. Michaela, did you figure out
on that thing a lot more?
Haktua. Michaela, did you figure out your shit?
Yeah, it was me remembering incorrectly.
Oh, well, thank you for interrupting the show.
I'm sorry.
What she was looking for is none of the 5 and 5 teams lost and none of the 4 and 6 teams won.
Yes, that's what I was looking at.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you.
No problem.
There's also no 2 and 9 teams. You want to look that up, Michaela?
Hey, why are there no 2 and 9? Because Miami couldn't beat. Was it LA?
No, it's because Notre Dame had to just win another game.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that. Unbelievable.
Yeah. We'll be back next year. Or no, we won't, actually.
No, there you go. Hey-o. All right, so, folks,
Notre Dame's got a chance. They got Missouri and Miami part of their 2 of their last 4 games.
We faced Missouri last week. We lost.
That's what he meant.
Like you said, 2 of their last 5 games.
So Gunny and Michaela are going to get on the same page.
I actually Ray's right. He plays Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Auburn, and then Miami as his.
Yo, 3 of those 4 games are fucking easy. We have no.
Yeah.
It just depends on which Lisa shows up.
Oh my God, bro! If you guys end up with only 3 wins, I'm going to laugh my ass off. All right.
Miami.
You see the KNPR. You've heard what we've had to say. You heard Keith's.
Dumpster fire league, we had more than 1 win in a season.
That's true. That is true. And with 24 teams. Although we didn't play not everybody played everybody, which is very unique about this season and probably will never happen again. And for those of you who don't know,
What do you think?
next season we go back to probably about an 8-game schedule, back to normal. So this was an anomaly. The one season,
a round robin season.
Yep, the one season everybody plays everybody. So we've seen the KNPR, we've seen the records. Clams, I think it's time for us to unveil Week 11 Richard. The official rankings. UNLV stays at the top spot. And I will say this, for the second week in a row, It was unanimous. Every single person voted UNLV for number one. We had 11 entities voting this week for both rankings and for POWs. Penn State jumps up one. Penn State and Alabama switched spots, which is interesting because both teams won, but Alabama actually drops after win. I guess the voting community thinking Penn State's victory was a little more impressive than Alabama's. It is a very close between 2 and 3. Oh, I forgot to change the 3. I'm sorry. Alabama's actually number 3. I forgot to change that. My bad. Kansas number 4. LSU 5. So LSU, man, they have dropped 4 spots in 2 weeks, which is kind of crazy. Nebraska. Oh my God! Why does it say 6 and 6? What the fuck?
It's 6 and 5. It's 6 and 5.
It's 6 and 5. Whatever. I don't know why it says 6 and 6.
Yep,
That was one of those one of those rankings Michaela was looking for a minute ago. Tennessee.
Wow.
So you got Nebraska, Tennessee, and Florida, and Iowa, all at 6 and 5, and then Auburn. The voting community saying, you know what? The best 4 and 7 team in the AACL is Auburn. So before we finish talking about the official rankings, I'm going to go around and ask this simple question, starting with Ray. Is Auburn the best 4 and 7 team? You got Auburn, Missouri, Ohio State, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech. Is Auburn the best 4 and 7 team in the AACL?
Fucking mouth.
We could hear you. We could hear you.
I couldn't even get one single fucking word off, and she's yelling at me.
I heard that, bro. I heard that.
At least
Oh
you
my
didn't put a
God.
sticky note. Put a sticky note on your monitor.
She put a sticky Oh, that's fucking legit.
All right. So literally, I went through the first 1 through 9 pretty easily. It was pretty much like what the Week 11 rankings are, except for my 5, 6, and 7 are totally different from that 5, 6, and 7.
Okay.
I looked down at the number 10 spot. I was like, okay, Virginia Tech can't be here because they were number 10 and they took that 3-point loss to Florida. Unfortunately, it was a close loss, but unfortunately there was other teams that won. So I did exactly what you did. I'm sitting here looking at the 4 and 7 teams that happened, and it says Auburn, Missouri, Ohio State, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech. Well, I automatically disqualify Virginia Tech because they took the L. And I had to look at the teams that actually won in this, and the only team that stood out based on point differential alone throughout all the games last week was Auburn, and that's what won Auburn the 10th spot in my rankings.
Well, the 4 and 7 teams, I think only Auburn and Missouri won, right? So Ohio State, Syracuse, and Virginia Tech went from 4 and 6 to 4 and 7, where Auburn and Virginia went from 3 and 7 to 4 and 7, right? So you're just saying that because, you know, like, what have you done for me lately kind of thing, the people who have won, it just automatically puts them above the teams that lost last week?
It also goes with that. Also, Missouri only beat Notre Dame by 4 points. But meanwhile, you look at the Auburn side of things. Auburn beat a ranked team 35-24. They beat them by double digits. So that's pretty much what won them over Missouri for me.
And they beat LSU, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was the Tiger Bowl. Okay. Yogi, same question to you. Is Auburn the best 4 and 7 team, or can there be an argument made for one of the other 4?
No, I had them at 10th exactly. I have the same exact thing, except I have a soft spot for Iowa because they keep getting left out of the KSPR. So I'll put them 8th and Florida 9th. But other than that, it's exactly the same. It's the way I saw it this week.
For those
Auburn's big win over LSU got them at that 10th spot.
I mean, let's not sugarcoat it, Gunny. Auburn, any victory over LSU, Penn State, and Alabama, UNLV probably carries a little more weight than some of these other victories and losses. Would you agree with that?
I agree. Anytime you beat a top 5 team, you should move up in the rankings.
Yeah. Speaking of the rankings, I fixed the 3 on Alabama and the record on Nebraska real quick. The only other teams, if you guys remember last week, we only had 10 teams receive votes. This week, 11 teams receive votes. Virginia Tech was the other team receiving them, which is the other 4 and 7, which is interesting. There was one vote for Missouri, but I didn't count it because it was
Missouri.
Well,
it was Missouri.
No, listen, Missouri put themselves as 10th, and yeah. I have a rule that if you are the only one who votes for your team, then it doesn't count. You need to have some other kind of community voting, and this is not to throw, Maverick or Missouri under the bus. I'm just stating the fact that that's why that's not on there. So, it also goes to the fact that the only 2 teams that really received votes were Auburn, Virginia Tech, and Missouri. Syracuse and Ohio State completely left out of the voting. Whether it's fair or not, I don't know. I kind of think it is. I was actually a little surprised by a couple of these things. I don't think anybody can argue that UNLV should be number 1. I don't have a problem with Penn State at 2, or Alabama at 3 for that matter.
My rankings.
Go ahead, Michaela.
No deal.
Well, listen, I didn't actually know if you were here to help out Clams or if you were here to be part of this show, to be honest with you.
I was here just to be here because I got off early.
Shit.
Oh, okay. So
Well, why don't you chime in real quick then on your thoughts on these rankings?
Okay, well, I completely have LSU 3 spots lower.
At 8?
Yeah.
Below 6 and 5 teams.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I didn't have them at 8, but I was close. I had them at 7.
Yeah, I'm looking at everybody's polls right now. I do see Michaela have them at 8. Ray's got them at 7. Let me see if anybody else had them low real quick. Hold on. Nobody else had them lower than 5. Yeah, everybody had them 5 or higher except for the 2 of you. So, Michaela, explain yourself.
Well, I did realize I did put Nebraska above LSU. I should have put Nebraska below LSU. I took more into account head-to-heads, where you had Florida who beat LSU. I'm pretty sure.
I
don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And then Tennessee, I think, has beaten Florida. And so I put Tennessee on top of Florida. I don't know. And then Nebraska had beaten Florida, so I guess that's how we ended up on there. I don't know.
Ray, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Michaela. Finish. Sorry.
Yeah, so it was 1 UNLV, 2 Penn State, 3 Bama, 4 Kansas, 5 Tennessee, 6 Nebraska, 7 Florida, 8 LSU, 9 Iowa, and then 10 Auburn.
Yeah, so
it's really just that middle part that got messed up.
I'm actually thinking there's a pretty good argument for anybody between about 4 and 9, right? Between 7 and 4 and 6 and 5, it's like, who'd you beat? Did you win or lose last week or whatever? I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Ray, I think the thing that's sticking out to me the most, and I'm curious on why you had LSU so low, is LSU just getting kind of beat up on more than like an Alabama or Kansas because they've lost their games recently instead of earlier in the season?
I don't think it's because of that, honestly. It's just it seems like LSU's probably left their foot off the gas a little bit after claiming that number 1 spot and then just immediately dropping after 1 week. They are facing kind of tough opponents, but these are opponents that we've sat here and said throughout the show, like, they shouldn't worry about them. They should easily just be able to go past and blow by them. And I guess they took that to heart. They were just like, okay, we ain't got to fucking play like the high and mighty LSU, and they just went completely downhill with that. The reason why I had LSU at number 7 instead of everybody going up around like 5 or whatever, y'all can look at head-to-head all you want. I'm looking at last week and what happened last week, and what happened last week was LSU lost to an unranked then 3-7 Auburn by 11 fucking points. I don't care what any of y'all say. Y'all could say, well, they deserve to be above this and this because they lost. I don't care when they fucking faced that and that. They just faced Auburn, who was 3-7. They got their asses stomped in by Pink Lisa. That's why I put them down below Nebraska and Tennessee.
Okay, Yogi, I'm looking at your rankings. I'm looking at my rankings. You and I have the identical top 5.
Okay.
Why do you think, as opposed to what Michaela and Ray just said, why LSU is a top 5 team and not a 6 through 10 team?
I'm trying to look at their whole body of work. They've won 7 games. Now, my biggest concern with them, and I think they're going to continue to slide, is I fear they will, because I think they lost the star halfback.
They did, and so now is that a factor, Yogi? And should it be a factor in as you're thinking about the rankings? You're like, all right, they had Brute Bandit, who was a sophomore. They replaced him with AACL Terror, who was a walk-on. You're basically dropping 2 full tiers on the running back scale.
Yes.
But should that be taken into consideration when you're voting, or should only the results be taken into consideration?
Only the results. I didn't take that in. I just worry about it. That their time in the top 5 might be coming to an end because of that. We'll see how they coach around it. But I do not take that into consideration. I try to look at the whole body of work for the season. And wasn't that 2 losses in a row for them?
Yeah, and I think it's like 3 out of 4 or something like
And
that, right?
how far? Yeah, and how far did Penn State fall when they lost their 2?
They
fell
dropped.
quite
They dropped to
dramatically, too.
4. I think they dropped to 4, if I'm not mistaken.
4?
So they
Okay.
so they dropped 1 less spot than LSU, but still, it almost seems like, Gunny, that the voters have no, I don't know. I guess a heart, or I get heart is the only word I can think of right now. They have no heart for teams that are supposedly the top tier, and then they lose the game. And Gunny, agree with me or disagree with me? Do you think like the top teams, when they lose, they get beat up a little more by the pollsters than those teams in the middle and the bottom of the top 10?
That's probably true, but LSU, they as Yogi mentioned, they're losing. They lost their starting tailback. Ohio State has dropped the last couple weeks. Their quarterback's been injured 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, that plays a big factor in the rankings. I do believe it to some people.
So Gunny, how does that affect your ranking? Let's take Ohio State for a moment. We know they're a decent team. They've been in the top 10 almost all season. Their quarterback goes out and they lose a close game or they lose a tough game. How do you factor in the injury and say, well, if they had Nate, they would have won, so I keep them higher? Or do you say, without Nate, this team sucks, so I put them lower?
I think between the 4 and 7 teams, they're kind of in the middle of the pack. I think Auburn's on a roll. They could beat about anybody. Virginia Tech's improved with their new playbook, so I think maybe Virginia Tech could take them. But with Taz at Syracuse, it's a hit or miss depending on how he's running the ball. So it's a hit or miss with some of the teams.
Yeah, it's definitely a hit or miss. Michaela, you have any final thoughts on this before we move on to players of the week?
No.
Let me.
I just want to say this.
Yeah.
It sounds like half of us are like the CFP in real life, taking Florida State out of the top 4 for a championship running.
Well,
and then there's half of us to be like, but their record though.
Well, so right, it's okay, Ray. So let me ask you this: if UNLV or Penn State had, Guy Clausen or Robo go out in the first quarter and then lose that game, would you hold it against them in the rankings?
If it was solely based on their performance and how bad they performed.
I mean, you don't have your starting quarterback for 3.5 quarters.
Hey, it does. I don't. What I do, I don't base it off of injuries. Okay, it doesn't matter what injuries happen. This is why you have backups on your sideline to go and replace that guy and go out there and win the game. All right. These injuries don't take effect in me when I do these rankings. I base it solely off of what just happened in the last week. I don't care what happens in week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yada, 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 yada. I care about what happened last week.
I think there's an argument to be made to say that we know that Penn State is a top team, and because their quarterback got hurt, they had a bad week, and if he didn't get hurt, they would have won, and so they shouldn't drop as much in the rankings. Does anybody agree or disagree with that?
Well, you just put the Florida State template right there on Penn State.
Well, I mean, Florida State's a little different. They're fucking 0-3 for God's sake.
And yes and no.
No, last year when Florida State
went
undefeated.
Yeah. Go ahead, Yogi.
Yes and no, because like Ohio State, Nate Hall has been knocked out of at least 3 games, maybe more, maybe 4 or 5. I know at least 3, so that's 3 out of 11. His build is causing that. Somewhere on his build, they don't have something high enough that's allowing him to be hurt in games. So that's continued to hurt him all season, and it continues to hurt him in my votes because of injuries. So yes and no. Something like that. I take that into effect. It's a constant thing with them.
Okay, I'm going to ask Michaela to check the roster and see what Nate Hall...
85 injury.
Thank you very much. Gunny, you're going to get the last word on this, and then I have to move to players of the week. Should injuries be a thought when a star player is hurt most of the game? Should that be considered in the rankings?
I think at some point it can be, but it really depends on how the team performs with or without that star player that gets injured. Some teams actually play pretty well when they have one of their star players injured.
Yeah.
So but I think it's not just maybe a week; it's a cumulative amount of weeks. But I'm looking forward to this Week 12 game whenever we get back to Keith's mom's power rankings, because the number 1, the number 2, and number 3 teams play each other in week 12. Then when we get to week 13, the number 1 and number 2 teams play each other.
Yeah, I was just about to mention.
And then we got quite a few games in week 14 where at least 2 or 3 top 10 teams are playing each other. So
Yeah.
the ranking is going to be moving up and down in the next few weeks.
It's definitely going to come down to the nitty-gritty. Doug Britton in the chat said, I so want UNLV and Penn State to win their next games to set up an epic Week 13 showdown between number 1 and number 2. Crazy Canuck had an interesting thought here. He says it's been proven in the AACL that if you try to run the ball to close out a game and you can't, you probably aren't going to win. That's going to take me a little more time to process that. That's a very intriguing thought that I don't necessarily disagree with, but I need to process it a little bit before I comment on it. And then Clams is about to murder her children. And then what else was there? There was one other thing I wanted to read. Oh, Clam says I shouldn't be considered in rankings. How the fuck? Well, I don't know. I'm not saying I go one way or the other. I think it's a gray area for me. Crazy Canuck, of course, says if your quarterback gets hurt, just fucking blame the O-line. All right, folks, let's move on to players of the week. Because we didn't have a show last week, we are going to do the offensive and defensive players of week 10 first, and then we will do week 11. So with no further ado, Clams, if I can get a drum roll. Everybody already knows this, so I don't know why I did the drum roll. Because I fucking felt like it. So
who the fuck is that guy?
Robo is the one.
I mean, wrong one. Oh my God, it's Robo.
It's Robo. Can you believe it? I know everybody's shocked by this, but just a quick reminder that the offensive player of the week for week 10 was Robo is the one, quarterback for UNLV, 27 to 32, 360 yards and 6 touchdowns. Your defensive player of the week for week 10.
Don't need the drums.
Yeah, we do. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Rob Foraker, 10. You can't do. Yeah, Ray. You can't do the offensive player and then not do the defensive player. That'd be fucked. Yeah.
How is that racist?
Clams is an equal opportunity fucking drum roller. Rob Foraker, middle linebacker for Nebraska, 10 tackles, three tackles for loss, assisted tackle.
Oh God.
I was waiting for
the Days M category now.
I was waiting for a middle finger to pop up at the end of that one. A forced fumble and a fumble recovery. So congrats once again to Robo is the one, offensive player of the week for week 10, and Rob Foraker, defensive player of the week for week 10. But now I know all of you are on the edge of your seat in suspense, waiting for the offensive player of the week for week 11, and that is complete fucking fail.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Come on, blocking. Fuck.
Fillmore Slim. Yeah, nice try, Ray. Fillmore Slim. Quick reminder, like I mentioned earlier, 11 entities voting for this. Fillmore Slim had 4 votes. David Ware had 2. Lorenzen had 2. Marco had 1. Ray had 1. And Brooke Behringer had 1. Yeah. So a lot of parity here in week 11. So you only had 11 voters and you had you had 6 different fucking people get voted. That's crazy. So
and back-to-back weeks at UNLV.
Yeah, back-to-back weeks. Yep.
To the person who voted me, where do you want your dick sucked?
Mike All.
Actually,
I want to braid your penis.
Give
me your cream.
I am now looking at
your ass.
I'm now looking at the list to see who it was that voted for you. Oh shit! Oh shit!
Slide that name over to me
on
a sticky note.
I will say, yeah, I'm gonna put a sticky note on your fucking computer. Fillmore Slim, halfback for UNLV, 32 carries, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then 4 receptions for 19 yards. Your defensive player of the week for week 11 is Jose Cruz, and this one was almost unanimous. Unbelievable how much different the offensive and defensive voting was. Out of 11 votes, he got 9 of them. 9 out of 11.
Oh, nine out of 11.
Yep. JoJo Rock got 1, and JW Heartstone or Heart something.
Hartshorn.
Whatever. The free,
Hartshorn.
the free safety from Tennessee, and then JoJo Rock, of course, the corner from
Got
Missouri.
a hard on and a storm.
They-
What?
They each got 1 vote. So Jose Cruz.
voted for JoJo Rock.
Somebody did vote for JoJo Rock. Hold on, let me see who it is. Yeah,
I have a guess.
It was I'm sure it was Maverick, but I have to check real quick.
That's what I was assuming.
Jose Cruz, 9 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, an assisted tackle, a sack, and an INT. And I think what set the tone for that game in Florida's win was the pick 6 he had at the very beginning of the game, and they never looked back after that. So congrats to Robo and Rob and Fillmore and Jose for your Week 10 and Week 11 Players of the Week.
Certified badass.
I wanted to just throw this up real quick and remind everyone that starting last week, the last third of the season, there was another change for playbooks, and this is what it looks like. A lot of teams made changes. Nebraska did not, UNLV did not, Missouri did not, and Baylor and Florida did not. So that's 5.
LSU?
Or I meant LSU. Who did I say?
You said Baylor?
Yeah, whatever. Baylor, yeah. Oh, here's another announcement. Baylor's joining the AACL. So 5 teams. So that means 11 teams switched up playbooks, including two teams, I believe. Let's see on here, which was Ohio State and Iowa that gave up their custom books to go back to generic books, which I found very interesting. So I just wanted to remind everybody that through these conversations that we have for the KMPR, the rankings, and how the records come out, and who is this and why, you also got to remember that teams, as of last week, are fucking around with new playbooks, and some of them are working, and some of them are not, and that's going to be a factor here in the last third of the season. So,
I see you dirty fucks all copying California.
Yeah, dude, Cal seems to be the playbook, right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's only 3. Oh, 4. 4?
4.
Why does it feel like more than that? Is there even anybody else that has 2? Colorado?
I don't. Is there somebody else with Colorado?
Yeah.
Alabama.
Oregon.
Who else has Oregon besides LSU?
Syracuse.
Yeah, they just switched to that, right?
Yeah.
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 So.
But it's pretty much like 4-2-2-2, and then all singles.
And then singles after that. Last part of the show. Wow, I can't believe we're barely over an hour. I thought for sure we were going to go like an hour and a half at least, but
well, we got time for a segment. Crazy Canucks, deep thoughts.
Oh God,
dude, I'm actually
get in here, Dave.
Do you know I'm actually going to be fucking thinking about that when I go to sleep tonight? Now, fucking crazy way to fuck up my sleep pattern, bro.
Love it.
When we come back, just another quick reminder, and I'm going to do some other quick reminders here, too. I have a list fucking somewhere. I have a sticky note somewhere, Ray. I was going to put it on your car, but I have to read it first.
You do? Okay.
Where is it? Oh, here it is. All right, so some announcements real quick. First of all, this week, this is it. This show is the only thing we're doing this week. Then next week, I get back on Tuesday, and so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because I get back Tuesday night. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is week 12. We will have a show next week where we will do pick'ems. So what you see on your screen right now, week 12, we're just going to talk about it real quick. We won't do our pick'ems. We will do our week 12 pick'ems next Wednesday. So Wednesday we'll have the AACL TueNight Wednesday night edition with 2 games, 3 games on Thursday, 3 games on Friday. In addition to the calendar changes, if you want to go into the calendar, you can look in the AACL server. There's some other dates that I've thrown in there for like when the playoffs and the championship game and next season and all that stuff. Reminder about new people joining. If you join right now, if you are already a prospect or you become a prospect through week 14 only. I'm not going to do this the last week of the season. You are welcome to take an AI spot. If you look at the ping from a couple days ago, that will give you all the information, all the details, all the restrictions that are required for you to do that. But if you want to get on a squad just to hang out in a locker room for the last few weeks of the season, you are more than welcome. It won't count against your eligibility, But you also won't get a lot of other stuff that a normal player would get as well. And then last thing,
hold my jock strap, motherfucker. No, I'm kidding.
and get his fucking coffee with your other hand. Classes and training. I cannot stress enough that you guys need to be doing your classes and you need to be doing your training, or your player will either not progress or could possibly digress, or be on academic probation and not even play at the beginning of next season. Or God forbid, if you're failing a class, you could not even play next season for even longer. So I implore you to please do your classes and please do your training. Also, there will be some opportunities late in the season to make some of those up. They're going to be based two things that I've come up with. We can use Twitch points, so you can cash in Twitch points. I don't know how many it's going to be yet or whatever. And the other thing that I've discussed with Michaela that I'm pretty sure I'm going to do is that if you are failing based on your level, not what's the other thing in the chat? It's ranking, not your ranking, your level. You can, let's say you're a level 6. You can take 6 classes or trainings to make up. So, and you can divide them up. You can put them all towards one, or divide them equally, or however you want to do. Put 4 on one, 2 on another, whatever. The issue that most of you are probably going to have is that most people who are failing classes and training also are not very active in the server, so you might not have that much to make up. But the two things I might be willing to do at the end of the season are to help you make up your classes and trainings are Twitch points, and then your chat ranking. Michaela, were you trying to say something?
What we could do is, if they decide to use their chat level to or cover some training points, they have to restart their chat.
They have to reset.
level.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And I think that if I do that, then we'll do that as well. So we would just, if you were level 6 and you wanted to cash those in, then we would reset you back to level 0, and that's just the way it would be. So anyway, I think that's all the announcements I have for now. I'm just going to go around the horn. We're not going to go game by game, even though we have the time. I don't want to ruin it for next week when we actually do our pick'ems. But other than Alabama, Penn State, which is at the very top of the thing, I mean, that one just sticks out like a fucking sore thumb. Ray, other than Alabama and Penn State, the obvious pick, what other game really sticks out as a possible game to either watch for entertainment value, or something that's vital to one of the teams in the rankings or the standings, or anything like that for Week 12?
Listen, y'all are focused on Alabama and Penn State, which that should be a great matchup. The matchup I'm looking at is going to be right there in the swamp. You got Florida hosting number 1 UNLV. You remember the last time Florida hosted a number 1 team in the swamp? Because it was like maybe 2 weeks ago, right? Florida fucking decimated that number 1 team.
That was LSU, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm looking at Florida and UNLV being that top tier matchup this coming week.
Okay. Yogi, let's take Alabama, Penn State, and UNLV Florida off the table. What game jumps out at you?
Yeah, that's the one I was hoping he would take. Well, I've got 2 mirror games that are almost identical, just a little bit different. LSU and Missouri. Missouri's hollering about not being in the top 10. They're playing somebody in the top 10. This is their chance to get in the top 10. The same with Iowa and Tennessee. Iowa's looking to get in the top 10 in the KMPR. They can't seem to find a way in.
Yeah.
So here's their chance against Tennessee, and Tennessee needs this game bad. So same with LSU. So I see those as like mirror games against each other, and I think there's something to watch.
All right, Gunny, that's 4 games down of the remaining games. Is there anything that stands out to you for Week 12?
I'm looking for a fourth quarter healthy Nate Hall leading the Buckeyes against the Auburn War Eagle Tigers. That should be an interesting game, especially maybe if it's in the horseshoe. That can boost Ohio back up into the top 10.
It's at Auburn. Yeah, it's at Auburn. Sorry. It's still great. No, you're right though. If Nate Hall can stay healthy, obviously Ohio State has a much better chance. Well, Michaela, the last few games that are left are Kansas, Syracuse, Miami at Nebraska, and Virginia Tech at Notre Dame.
Tennessee and Iowa too.
Well, he just talked. Yogi talked about it.
I listened to the first one. He said that's about it.
All right, gotcha. Of those 3 remaining games, what pops out?
I not gonna lie, I am kind of scared to go against a Greg Soto led Miami.
I mean, we don't want to be that team, right?
Yeah.
We were.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's the 1-1-10.
Yes. It's Virginia
Yogi,
Tech and 10.
you can be the only win. I just don't want. I don't know. I don't want to lose to Greg Soto and then have him hold it over my head.
Greg, would you do that, bro? Come on. I agree, first of all, with Michaela that I just don't want to be that team that gives Miami their next win. Because not only, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Not only are you giving Miami their second win, but you're fucking yourself in the process by getting out of that middle group and getting closer to like the Notre Dame and stuff, and you don't want to do that. I think the most
Notre Dame.
I think the most intriguing game is actually the Virginia Tech Notre Dame game. Virginia Tech jumping the top 10, then falling out. Notre Dame being the second team to be eliminated. Does Notre Dame say we have something to play for and let's play spoiler and fuck Virginia Tech season? Or have they already given up and whatever, and Virginia Tech just goes in there and rolls? That, to me, is actually the most intriguing matchup of Week 12 outside of Alabama and Penn State, because I want to see which of those Virginia Tech and Notre Dame teams actually show the fuck up, and if Notre Dame has anything left in the tank for the rest of the season now that they know they're not going to make the playoffs. So we have a very...
That's officially your pick?
That is for me, yeah, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame.
So you need to put your A team on that game then, if you're calling that.
Well, I think the feature game, I think, and Ray, I'm sure Ray will agree with me, will be Alabama Penn State for sure.
No,
yeah,
shocker.
There's going to be 2 feature games on Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
I just don't know which ones go where, but it's pretty much Alabama, Penn State, and UNLV in Florida.
Clams is with me, by the way, in the chat.
I will tell you right now, Yogi, that Virginia Tech and Notre Dame game, if Dave is allowing something for this week,
yeah,
it's going to have to be on a Wednesday because I will be gone Thursday and Friday.
We'll figure that out. We can talk about it off air, actually. Last thing here real quick. Actually, Gunny, that's funny, the 2-10 thing. That's hilarious. I'm just going to go around the horn. I'm going to go in reverse order this time. I'm going to give... I don't know if I should go Gunny or I go Michaela. I'll go Michaela.
Oh God.
Michaela.
Two of you.
Yeah, Michaela. I want to get your overall thoughts on season 3 so far. We're 2/3 of the way in, and when I get back from Wisconsin next week, we are straight shots. It's week after week after week after week. There are no more breaks. This is the very last bye of season 3. So, what's your take so far on season 3 overall? Do you like the fact that everybody played everybody? Do you think it's too long of a season? Is there anything else that has jumped up or popped out this season that's makes you say this was great or this sucks or whatever? What's your overall feeling of season 3 so far?
I like that we do play everyone, but it sucks creating that fucking schedule. And it wouldn't have been so long if we didn't have all those unforeseen things come up.
Yeah, you're right. It would have been.
I don't think you could see jury duty coming up or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So it could have been a lot shorter. We could have been done by now.
Oh, you didn't see jury duty coming up 12 car lengths behind?
No, it was 15 car lengths. That's why I couldn't see it.
No. But yeah, I think it gives us a chance to show that not every single team is out until their record says that they're out.
Yeah, Gunny, I would
say... They can still do so many upsets.
Yeah, I would say, Gunny, this is the anomaly season, obviously, because this is the one time we're allowing everybody to play everybody, which I agree. I totally agree with Michaela that I think that is the best way to really iron out and figure out who's better than who, the records, the tiebreakers. It's the easier way, but it's fucking exhausting and it will never happen again. We will be reverting back to the 8-game schedule next season. Do you prefer the 8-game season, or did you like this season?
I have liked all 3 seasons for one way or another. I enjoyed the creativity of names in season 1. Number 2, I don't know. Season 2 sucked for the Tennessee crew, but some of them stuck together, and I'm proud to have them on board for this season, and we've improved from what we did last season. But yeah, I like the variety that we've had. And then this season, there is no teams that have lost a game. There is no teams that have won every game. So it's a good schedule in between.
Yeah, the parity has been great. This is one of the things I've actually liked about this season, which, Yogi, you can only really tell, I think, if everybody plays everybody, right? If everybody doesn't play everybody, how do you know if there's true parity or not?
It's still going to cause problems later when this team beat that team, but yet this team beat that team. It's going to be a round.
But at least we'll have head-to-heads, right?
Going back to your question about season 3, Gunny hit on it. But we went from season 1 to having 4 players on the team and crazy names, and it was all about the production and the broadcast. We all just had a blast. To season 2, where we incorporated more players, progression system, and it was a learning process. To this season, where we've ironed a lot of stuff out. Forget about the time off. We had plenty of time in our calendar to get the games in. Never was a problem. To where we are now, it's just great. I mean, I like it. Yeah, I'm sorry for Miami that they're 1-9, 1-10, whatever, but they'll get it. Greg will get it together.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Greg will definitely get it together. I'm surprised, like Michaela, I think, mentioned the other night that he didn't come with a custom playbook. I think maybe he just didn't have the time to do it. Ray, you've got the last word on everything we've been talking about here about season 3.
Season 3 pretty much can be explained in one word: shocking. I mean, it started out like normal, fucking Auburn just being Auburn, dominating anybody that stepped in their way. But as soon as we stepped into the regular season, Auburn doesn't look like Auburn all of a sudden. It seems like everybody. It seems like everybody figured them out. It's shocking to see Pink Lisa the way she is. It's shocking to see Miami. It's shocking to some people to see Miami the way they are. It's shocking that we still don't have a Hurricane football sucks sound in this damn Discord yet. It's shocking that Notre Dame had to switch their ADs in the middle of the damn season and having to, like, this new AD having to cram everything together and be like, okay, I got to get this, I got to get this, I got to get this, with people leaving during the break of Dave being fucked over and sent to jury duty.
Not just once.
But why? At least you got Foreman the second time, so congratulations. You're 1 for 2.
Thank you very much.
One more thing I want to put in there, and when you chose your little game of the week, Dave, between Virginia Tech and Notre Dame, if Notre Dame beats Virginia Tech and they somehow end the season with the same record, that could be could be the downfall that Virginia Tech will go on to play in the Toilet Bowl.
Yeah, the head.
Whoa, are you calling that?
No, he's saying the head-to-head, that if they beat you, they'll have the head-to-head. Yeah.
I'm asking, is he calling that?
Oh, I'm not calling shit. Listen. What I saw last week with the new playbook, spectacular. We scored over 40 fucking points. Unfortunately, our defense got a little bit too fucking tired and just let up. But we'll make those changes. We'll fix them. I've been calling Virginia Tech throughout the entire season. I kind of know what to expect. I kind of don't know what to expect, but I do know one thing's for sure. I'm going to steal those fucking rims off your goddamn Monte Carlo.
So when you go into calling a Virginia Tech game, do you know he's going to throw 1 or 2 pick sixes?
OnStar roadside assistance.
I would get everybody. I was looking for it too.
We got 2 of them.
Dude, you almost got a third one because I was looking for it.
I guess with 2 OnStars, that means there's 2 pick sixes.
There you go. There's the answer.
Hey, so I'm looking at the chat real quick before I give my final thoughts and we jump off the air here. A couple things I wanted to address in here. Crazy Canuck reminding everybody that season 1, as well as season 2 of the AACL are on YouTube, so you can always go there to check them out. If you go to the pins inside the Kickoff Alert channel, I believe the YouTube chat link is there. Doug Britton says he still likes 15 games, and Britton, all I can say is, how does it feel to like, bro? Because I'm not doing that shit again. But he did say,
I'm not doing that shit.
Here's what he said, though. Here's something else. He said, try 20 teams in 4 divisions and 2 conferences. Here's the thing, and I'm just going to be straight up with everybody. I'll be honest with you, and I've talked to the leadership people here in the AACL about this. doing 8 games a week is fucking exhausting. The amount of time that I put into preparing everything that goes for every single game, it's fucking exhausting. Plus the show on top of it all. But given the fact that I have a little more freedom and some time, and if people wouldn't care if their game was on at noon on a Wednesday, once or twice a season or whatever, I don't have a problem going back to up to 24 teams. I don't have a problem with it. I like having divisions. I would love to have 4 divisions of 6 teams again like we did in season 1, because I think that's the best fucking thing for playoffs and for bowl games. That being said, we would either have to get a shitload more people in here, or we would have to lower the roster spots per team. And for teams that are very solid, that have that 10, 11, 12, 13 man roster, or person roster, that doesn't want to break up their team, I don't want to be unfair to them either. So there's a lot of discussions that are going to happen in November. I can guarantee you that. I'm actually starting in October probably, but into November for sure, before we get to the holidays, on not only what game we're going to play and how what the new game that we decide on is going to affect things like progression, right? Because if we pick a new game, there might be different attributes and things, so we'll have to adjust that. That's not a big deal though. That's easy shit. The harder shit is knowing how many people are we going to have in the league, and then how many people we're going to have per team, how many teams are we going to have, how many people are willing to step up and be an athletic director. If you're an athletic director in this league, you got to have responsibilities. I slacked off a little bit this season, and because I decided that I didn't want to force all the ADs to do rankings and players of the week and all that stuff. But the fact that we have 18 people who can vote every week, and I struggle to get half every week, that's going to be a requirement next season. If you can't boost the server, I never want to make this financially difficult for people, so I will never charge for this league. I will never require you to pay for boosting or whatever. But if you don't boost, then you gotta pitch in. If you can't pitch in with your money, you got to pitch in with your time, which means be on the broadcast team, help with the stats team, help with the website that we are planning on having, hopefully, for season 4. There's a lot of areas where people can help out. But if you want to be an AD in this league, in order for us to get past 16, you got to put in a little something. So, and you got to show something before you can become an AD. So there's a lot of talk, I get it, about, let's have a lot more games and more teams and all this stuff. There's a lot of things that go on and that have to be done before we can get to that point. So yeah, Doug Britton, I agree with you. I'd love to have 24 teams or whatever again. You can shove your 51 game season up your ass though, bro. And then somebody else in here said, there was one more thing in here I wanted to say. Now I can't find it. There was one more thing I wanted to comment on, and now I can't find it. But here's what I think. Oh, that's what it was. I think it was Leathers that said, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't find the thing, but basically how every season, here it is. Every season has had its own vibe, and they've all been fun. I agree. Gunny was touching on it earlier. Yeah. The fact that we had only 24 teams, and each athletic director was the only person on their team, and we literally only had 24 people plus Crazy Canuck. That was the whole fucking league in season 1. And I think it was Yogi that said, in the season 2, we had a progression and some other things, and we had Auburn just rolling and whatever. Then season 3, parity has really come home, right? With the new progression system, parity has been king. I don't care if Miami's 1-10. They've been in a lot of games, right? They could easily, and we've talked about this, they could be a 500 team right now easily. I love the fact that the progression system that Wink helped me create has made the parity in this league so amazing. Speaking of the schedule real quick, too, I also want to add, one thing I will never get rid of, that we will always have every single season as long as I'm running this league, is we will have a PST. We will have a preseason tournament. I think it is vital for, number one, for teams to try out playbooks. Number two, for them to try out different schemes, what have you. For players to kind of see where their player is so they can concentrate on progression the following season. And also because it gives everybody just one more trophy, right? One more thing to brag about. One more bragging right. Doug Britton, I was joking. Oh, no, I know you were, bro. I know you were, but it just made me think of all that shit when I saw your post. So we will always have the preseason tournament, even if we only have 8 games a season. So, and just so you know, that's the plan. And I'm going to wrap it up here, but that's the plan for next season. We have 16 teams. I'm leaning towards 2 conferences of 8, where you play everybody in your conference, and then your rival is in the other division. So that's kind of where we're going with things for next season. So I'll open it up real quick. If anybody has anything they want to chime in, since I was talking so long, I know people have thoughts or whatever. So it's just kind of an open floor here for the next minute for anybody in the booth that needs to chime in or has anything else they want to say before we go offline.
To the ones that show up every week and come into this chat to watch their games, anybody else's games, who go into Discord and chat and have a good time, to anybody who sits here and like me and tries to help better the AACL in any single little way they can. I started off as little as I could with Dave, and Dave grew me a lot bigger than I anticipated to go within a few months of me being in here. Pause.
That's what she said.
Full fucking pause.
He's got the big pee-pee.
Dave looked at me like I was his mirror for some reason.
Oh God.
I just want to sit here and say we're almost through the end of season 3. I never thought I would be an AD in season 3. I thought I would just be a head coach. My headset just turned off, so I can't really hear anything anymore. But you guys are amazing. You guys are loved. You guys are respected. I greatly appreciate every single one of y'all coming in here and doing what y'all do. It's fucking amazing to see a community like this and have it transform into something this great and amazing where you're going to have back-to-back seasons of 16 teams. And although we're not going to have a pretty long schedule like this season, it's still going to be great with the eight weeks and seeing how all that goes and everything. The people that have stepped up and become play-by-play commentators, analysts, third wheels, even the few people that stepped up to be soundboard, you guys are all appreciated each and every single week, even though we make fun of you and I get fucking crickets every goddamn week. It doesn't really matter to me. I love you guys so much. You are the reason why I wake up and I love doing this every single time I come home.
Awesome, Ray. Appreciate that. Anybody else before we jump in, or before we bring Freddie in to sing us goodnight?
I agree with him 100%. The community is what makes this, and this was made for that community. It's a great community we have here. We've stuck together through a lot of things in different leagues, and we're all here having a blast, and it's a blast to pitch in and help produce some of this. Get on air and AD and all that's an honor.
Appreciate that.
I'll add on to what Yogi just said. I mean, those 25 of us that started in the league 3 seasons ago, if I would look back through the teams that started, I bet at least 20 out of those 25, maybe more of us, are still in the league. So we thank Dave for starting the league. We've had fun with it since season 1. Season 2, we're still here in season 3, and we'll probably be here again in season 4.
I fucking hope so.
And you got to remember, it was easy for Dave to start this league because he had a certain commissioner from another league telling him, if you don't like my league, go start your own. So he said, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to rehash that old shit, but
yeah.
But I mean, I did what I did. Clams in the chat real quick said, will the preseason tourney be like the teams you won't play in the other division? I don't know. No, I don't think so, Clams. I think we'll do it like we've done the last couple seasons. We'll probably do it with preseason rankings, and then everybody gets seeded into the brackets the way they were the last couple seasons. I think that's the way I'll
put everybody on a wheel and just spin it, and that's where you put them on the bracket.
We could do that.
I think number 1 should be the champion of last season, but then
that's what we did. But yeah,
it's just the wheel.
Actually, what we did last season, Ray, if you remember, for season 2, we did the top 4. The 4 teams who made the playoffs were seeds 1 through 4.
Yeah,
and so we'll probably do that again. That would make more sense.
Yeah, that sounds great. And then everybody else, there's a wheel. Fuck off.
Or poll or based on the poll.
Nice. Something.
Yeah.
So
it'll probably be something like that. All right. Anybody else got anything else before we go?
Keith's mom approves of this league.
Awesome.
Nice.
I mean, she knows. In actuality, she knows a little bit about it.
She does. Of course, she does. Just saying.
Can I say one more thing, Dave?
No.
It depends.
Shut your butt.
Is it
Listen,
is it amazing about me?
Like 30 extra minutes. It can be about you.
Now I'm concerned.
Hold on, guys. There's another sticky. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no.
I will say there's been. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit behind the scenes. There's been some behind the scenes talk about expanding a little bit. That's all I'm gonna say right now. Is I'm dipping my hand into that expansion a little bit with not football, not soccer, not hockey, not anything. I'm thinking about bringing professional wrestling into the AACL.
Oh,
I thought you were
here
going
we
to do
go.
badminton. I thought you were going to do badminton.
No, women's volleyball, bro.
Fucking pickleball. If it's pickleball or bust.
Yeah, I'm out.
Hey,
I want to see Yogi in them fucking tight ass shorts, bro.
Oh, geez.
bro, I've seen that. It's not pretty sight.
It's not pretty.
Just ask Ace.
What was that, Michaela?
Just ask Ace.
Oh, ouch. Yeah.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah, that's a
soon,
whole
too
different.
soon.
That's a whole
Too
different
soon.
thing. Hey, real quick, Frank Doom, I just want to answer his question would be, what game will Season 4 be on? I'm going to tell you right now, it's either going to be NCAA 25 or it's going to be fucking Maximum Football. That's the only two things. I had a nice long, I don't know if Chad Rowland is still in the chat. Chad, if you're in the chat, throw out. Chad, if Chad is still in the chat, fuck. Let me throw something in there. Let me know. But dude, we had a
Scroll down.
him and I had a nice long discussion the other day where we discussed 5 different possible games and which ones could and could not work here. And here's what I got to tell everybody. And Chad, I didn't tell you this the other day. This happened after you and I talked. Glad to see Chad Rowland's still a bitch. Good. Is that I am leaning towards and hoping still that NCAA 25 works out, and I'll tell you why. Chad and I had that talk. What was that, Thursday, Friday, Chad? Something like that. And then Saturday, I saw College Game Day and the SEC Nation show and all that stuff, and then the games come out. And the one thing, and Chad and I talked about this, the one thing that Maximum doesn't have, although they have like a drum line or something like when you come to the stadium, but what's great about fucking college football is the pageantry, right? Fucking pageantry,
yes.
Right? It's not. It's the fucking drum lines. It's the bands. It's the cheerleaders. It's the mascots. It's the Sooner Boomer fucking thing tipping over when they go out there. It's them trying to keep up with the Buffalo. It's 100,000 crazy fucking students and
wearing
people painted
colors,
and all that shit, which you don't get. Number one, you don't get in the NFL. You don't get it in Europe, fucking football league. You don't get.
And I will say for the NFL, sorry to cut you off. In the NFL, the only team I've been to is the Jaguars. You do get a mascot that jumps off the lights of the fucking stadium, though.
Yeah, it's just not the same, bro. I mean, like, okay, here's Crazy Canucks, perfect, right? You run the hill in Clemson. In Tennessee, they run through the Power T. In Virginia Tech, they've got whatever the song is, Sandstorm or whatever.
Enter the Sandman.
Enter Sandman. You've got, like I said, the Boomer Sooner wagon. You got the Colorado Buffalo, the Oregon Duck on the motorcycle. There's so much fucking pageantry, and I want that for this league. So I am praying that we will be able to use NCAA 25. Maximum would be the backup, and then there's always a possible Madden mod thing that would be a fucking distant third maybe. But I will say this: I'm done with Revamped. Revamped will not come back after season 3.
I'm done after standing and holding a fucking football too.
Yeah, it's just fucking dumb.
And the cornerback's freezing on run plays.
Yeah.
There's some glitches, but every game has its glitches.
Yeah.
We know these glitches.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
Leather's agreeing with me. Yeah, I think the pageantry, that's part of the fucking passion of fucking college football.
Yes.
Michaela, you were trying to say something a second ago, I think.
Oh, I just say that Ray and I need to get together to do some testing.
Yeah, and I'm going to be doing some, by the way, just so you guys know, I have a fucking brand new PS5 since like 4 months ago that's still in the box. I got a fucking NCAA fucking 25 game from whenever it came out that's still in the fucking wrapper. I am going to do a full dive when I get back from Wisconsin. So probably starting the end of next week or next weekend, I will start doing a deep dive. So Ray and Clams, or is Clams play it too or no? And Michaela and anybody else, whoever fucking play it, Keith, I know, we can really dig into it and start figuring shit out. Yeah, Chad, that's the thing, and I think we have we kind of have a workaround for now, but I'm hoping we'll have an even bigger workaround depending on what they're going to do, because I've already heard they're getting ready to release some new patches or some shit too again. So
there's patches coming in on pretty much almost like every 2 weeks.
yeah, so I'm hoping that by the time we have to make the decision and prepare for January's kickoff for season 4, we should be good to go. So, all right, anybody else? Last chance to chime in about the game or anything else we've talked about, and then I'm gonna have Freddie sing us home. All right, Freddie, how you doing, buddy?
All right, Dave. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fucking great, bro. Welcome back. And you got anything to add about the AACL Season 3, anything like that before you sing us?
Man, y'all pretty much covered it. It's a big love fest in here. Everybody loves everybody.
A big old circle jerk.
That's what he really meant. He just didn't want to say it. Oh, that's fucking...
Oh, yeah, I could shoot that comb.
What was that, Freddie?
Uh-oh. Heyo.
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 All right, well, Freddie...
I'm ready. Sing us out, baby.
Sing us home and take us home.
All right, AACL. Turn out the lights. The party's over. Say it all, good parties must end. We'll call it a night at Dave's party. Till next week, we'll start up Dave's party again. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks to Ray. Thanks to Yogi. Thanks to Gunny filling in for Keith. Thanks to Michaela for chiming in as well. Freddie singing us home. And, of course, DJ Clamsy Whamsy on the ones and twos. The Wheels of Steel. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Peace out. Tomorrow morning, I'll be hitting the road at 7 a.m. heading to the Corvette Museum with my buddy John in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And then from that, later in the day tomorrow, we'll be straight to Chicago, picking up Lisa, spending the night there, and then on to Wisconsin for a wedding, and then kind of the same trip back minus the Corvette Museum. So I'll be back next Tuesday night. I'll spend Wednesday prepping the show in the first 2 games, and then I will see you here, right back here on this Twitch channel at 7 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday night for the AACL TueNight show and games 1 and 2 once Ray decides on the schedule. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate all the people in the chat, all the people who will help out, etc., etc., and I will see you next Wednesday. Good night now!